Hello everyone. So I really hope that you have done the assignment 15 honestly by yourself. Now let us do some more problems. I'm not giving you this as a assignments. I'll explain you two problems here in this video. I'm not giving you as a assignment because I think you must have got the idea by now that okay, this is how a dictionary works. So this is now let's do two more problems. If you are still not confident, I'm pretty sure in this video you will get your confidence with the comfortableness of dictionaries. So let's start. Now let us say I am drilling a well somewhere, be it any location in the world. Okay, when you drill, you encounter different lithologies, and hence you encounter a different kind of porosities there. So I have written down that I have made a list of all the porosities which I have encountered the course of my drilling. Okay, now and I have stored in this variable called file. So this is a list. Okay, I'm not talking about dictionaries right now. Now what I want to do is what my problem statement is that I want to create a dictionary which counts that how many times a porosity is being repeated. So I want to create an output which looks like this. So this is a dictionary. If let's say if I'm saying my 0.15, it will give me a 0.15. 0.15, the value of porosity will be key there, and its value will be how many times it is being repeated. So 1 2, so it is being repeated by 2 times, right? Then it moves on to the next porosity, let's say 0.2. Then 0.2 now becomes my key, and its value becomes the time of repetition for 0.2, this and this. So 0.2 is also repeated for 2 times. Similarly, I hope you get the drill what I'm saying. Similarly, let's say I move on to the next 0.16, and 0.16 now is now the key, and how many times it has been repeated, it is only present single time, so it gives me 1. So similarly it does same for every porosity. This is my problem statement. This is I want the output. Okay, so how will I do that? Now whenever you have to see, I have also done these cases in lists also. What we have to do is, whenever we wanted a list, we always created an empty list, right? We will add the items later on them by using a for loop. Here we'll also do same thing, but this time I have to create a dictionary, so I'll create an empty dictionary. So let us say my empty dictionary, the dictionary's name is por underscore counter, that stands for porosity counter. Okay, and this has nothing inside. This is an empty dictionary. Now what I want to do is I want to add values. So I want to add values for each value of porosity in this list. So I'll just run a for loop in that list. So what I do is, for I in my list name is phi, for I in phi, what I want to do is I want to add a data now to my empty dictionary which has been named por counter. Correct? Now how do you add data in dictionary? I have told you. What you do is you write the name of your dictionaries por counter, and here you enter the key which you want to enter inside a dictionary. So my key will be nothing but I here, because when I say for I in phi, so my first value of I is 0.15, right? And this is what I want to make it as a key. So this is my key here, and what the value of this I will be, what the value of this 0.15 will be, the number of times 0.15 is being repeated in this list, right? So how can I count that? Simply use count method in the list. So my list name is phi, and I'll use count method, and I simply write what I want to count, I, because I is now 0.15. So this basically gives me that it will create a dictionary which will look like this, that I stands for 0.15 right now, and its value will be this count is happening inside this list phi. Remember, this phi is a list, right? So it will count 15, and it will give me that it has occurred 2 times. Great. Now afterwards what happened? After that, now for I 1.15 done. Now what happens? I comes to this value. So now this time I becomes 0.2, right? Now 0.2, so it means that porosity counter and the key value becomes 0.2. So here now the key becomes 0.2 and its value becomes phi dot count 0.2. So it will count point 2 in my list 5. So it will give me again 2 here. And similarly, it goes on and goes on. Right? So this is how we are appending we are not appending is means, appending means addition, but appending is meant means in Python we use append method for list, but here we are adding the data to a dictionary. Great. Now it will keep on going till my I value becomes 0.21, and after that my loop will stop. So if I print my PORCOUNTER, that is my dictionary, that dictionary. Now if I enter this dictionary, you see this is giving me a great result which is way easier. So this is giving me value. See, 0.15 is being repeated 2 times, zero point 0.2 is 2 times, 0.16 is 1 time, and 0.3 is repeating 3 times, 0.45 is repeating 2 times. So this is how you create, we have just created a porosity counter. We have just created how we are counting the porosities in formations as we are going deep and deep. Great. Now in a similar manner, I've in the starting of my explaining what I'm going to do in this video is, I've also told you that we encounter various lithologies as well. So I also want to now count lithologies. We can also make a function for that in the similar way. So I have, let's say I have encountered all these lithologies. Sandstone, first we started from sandstone, then we encountered shale, then we again encountered sandstone. Similarly, then we encountered limestone, then shale, then again sandstone, then basement. So we can create a similar function, sorry, not function, similar manner we can write a code, no harm in that. So how can we write? I'll create an empty dictionary. Now this time I'm counting I'm counting this lithologies. So I'll just write form counter, means formation counter, empty dictionary. Now I'll run a loop in my list, that is LITH, and then I'll add those data to my dictionary, empty dictionary. So form counter, what I want my key is to be, my key should be the value of I, and what the value of this key will be, that will be the number of times this I is being repeated inside the list lith. So LITH dot count, and here I'll write I. Now if I print my form counter, my dictionary formation counter, you will see I've created the same results. So sandstone is being repeated 3 times, shale is repeated 2 times over the course of my drilling, limestone 1 and basement 1. So this is how you can create a function. Now let us say we have created a function very beautifully for both the cases. Let us say now I want to I have a list, another list, let's say for mud weight. I have different values of mud weight, and I again want to calculate the same output for the list which contains the mud weight. So I have to write this amount of code again for a mud weight this time. Similarly, let's say we have another thing and we also want to get same output, so I'll have to write this code again. So we have what I'm trying to say is, we have to write a code again and again and again and again for each kind of list. Means the how many number of lists are there, and we'll have to write the same amount of code, same amount of code each time. So but instead what we can do is, we can do it by a function. I've told you before also that why do we use function, that it prevents us from repeating the code again and again. You can see although I have just changed the name of dictionaries here. Dictionaries and list names are different, although the code structure is pretty much same here in this case also, here in this case also. So now let us see the alternate method of deriving the results. So this time I am going to create function. Inside that function I'll write this code. So define function. Let's say my function name is counter, because it is counting something, it will be counting something, and inside that function I'll give a list, right? Let's say my list name is A here. Now in this function I have an empty list. I'll have to create an empty list. What I can name is, let's say that name is XYZ. XYZ is the name of list, sorry, dictionary. I have to create an empty dictionary. Let's say I'll just write count result. This is much better variable name. Okay, now what I have to do is, See, remember one thing, you will find many similarities in this code. Now what I do is I'll just run the for loop for I, where I have to run the for loop inside my this list which I'm giving inside the function. So that is a, and in then what I'll do is I'll just add my data inside my empty dictionary. So here it becomes I, and here in which it is counting, it will be counting in my list a. So a dot count, what it will be counting, it will be counting I. And now just exit the for loop. Now you are inside your define you inside your function, and now this function should return something, right? So what this will be returning, this will return uh, nothing but my this dictionary, right? So my this dictionary is now count result. So we have created a very beautiful function. Now if I see, now I use my counter function to calculate the LITH. LITH is my list name, right? I can use the same function for different list. This time I'm using for lith. Sorry, I have entered a wrong spelling. COUNTR LITH. So this is giving me result. Now if I go for counter, and let's say this time I want to go with to check my this list of 5, and if I go, so I am getting exact results, but this time I have written code only once, that is to describe a function. So I can use the same function if I have any other list also, right? So this is how a function helps us. Now just notice one thing, that the I have just written this same format of code inside a function. See this and this values are all pretty much same, only names have been changed. The structure of my code is very much same. What I was doing here, I am just doing it here, but this time just inside a function. So that is why function, whenever I call a function, this code automatically gets repeated. So this is how a function makes your life easy. uh, One thing you might notice is that here it is printing a dictionary in this order, and here this order has been changed. So at the starting of the video of dictionaries chapter, what I have told you, that dictionary is an unordered collection of data. So this order is not mandatory, it is random, so no need to worry about this. So guys, this is pretty much from this video. Thank you for joining, and I hope you have learned a lot about dictionaries from this video only. Thank you for joining.